I'm Shane Bigham. The chief of Hamas says the group is close to reaching a truce with Israel. Ismail Haniyeh made the remarks on Tuesday on social media site Telegram. This came after 12 people were killed at a Gaza hospital encircled by Israeli tanks. Gaza's health officials say 700 patients and staff were under fire at the Indonesian hospital in the enclave's northeast. Palestinian media say the hospital was hit by artillery rounds. Israel says its troops fired back at fighters and tried to minimize harm to non-combatants. The Palestinian side so far reported over 13,000 deaths, while Israel's tally is around 1,200. Noor Harazin has more from Gaza.
So Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, said that they have delivered their reply and their answer on the truce, and they are waiting the reply from Israel. However, until now, we cannot say that there is a humanitarian truce here in Gaza, and actually the Palestinians here on the ground have reached a point where they will not be believing or living in the fact that there is a truce until it happens here on the ground on Gaza. There's so many information, so many news on the truce and on the conditions of Israel, on the conditions of Hamas. However, until now, we do not know for fact what are the conditions of this truce.
Gaza's evacuated a group of 28 premature babies to Egypt to receive emergency treatment. Yasser Hakim has more.
Those children were at the Al-Shifa hospital under siege, bombarded, and also lacking any electricity to run the incubators and MCU units, has led to the death of several children in Al-Shifa hospital. And that's why Egypt announced a few days ago that it's ready to receive those children who have survived so far in Egypt. And the children have actually, after a few days of delays because of the security situation in the Gaza Strip, have finally made it into the Rafah border crossing and have been received by specially made ambulances at the Rafah border crossing.
Heavy fighting has killed at least 32 people in the disputed Abyei region claimed by both Sudan and South Sudan. The administrator's office for Abyei says the violence erupted early on Sunday following a revenge attack last week, which killed 34. The office also alleges that soldiers of the South Sudanese army aided the attackers. For years, two communities have been contesting the ownership of a territory in the border area. Intercommunal clashes have escalated since South Sudan deployed troops in the Abyei region in March. Flooding caused by El Nino rains across Kenya have killed at least 61 people and displaced thousands more. The East African country has been suffering an increased intensity in climate risks. The Kenya Red Cross Society has put the number of those displaced at more than 80,000. China's Ministry of Public Security says Myanmar's transferred 31,000 suspects to Chinese custody in a crackdown on telecom fraud. Since September, Chinese authorities have collaborated with law enforcement agencies in Myanmar to carry out law enforcement cooperation. Several ringleaders of the criminal industry have been arrested, with high-profile fugitive Meng Shui-chung committing suicide for fear of punishment. Air China's resumed flights between Beijing and Washington. Direct passenger services between the two national capitals are now available for the first time after the COVID-19 pandemic. Yo Young has more from Beijing Capital International Airport.
The flight number CA817 operates twice a week, with the return leg CA818 make a stop over in Los Angeles. According to the Civil Aviation Administration of China, during the 2023-2024 winter and spring flight season, the number of regular passenger flights between China and the United States expect to increase from the 48 per week to 70, providing greater convenience for personnel and economic and trade exchanges between the two sides. This is according with Chinese President Xi Jinping's words when he meeting with the U.S. President Joe Biden during the APEC summit, and he said he increased the two sides to increase people-to-people exchanges, and also that's increasing tourism and adding dialogue, especially in the increasing the flight sector.
A Chinese-made helicopter has completed its first round of plateau test flights. The Aviation Industry Corporation of China says the AC-131-A is a large civil helicopter. The move paves the way for more airworthiness flights. And that's the news. I'm Shane Bigham.